السلام عليكم. اسمي كليتون كير. أنا أمريكي وأنا بشتغل هون في أردن بالمدة سنة وكمان بدرس العربي هون. And I'm a volunteer with the organization Reclaim Childhood, and I run the squash program here.
My name is Maddie. I'm the programs director at Reclaim Childhood in Jordan. I've been in Jordan for about a year and a half now. I originally came over on a Fulbright teaching fellowship. I've been with Reclaim Childhood since June of last year.
I first came up with the idea of doing a squash program here in Jordan because my squash coach in the USA was Jordanian, and he was working with a low-income squash program in DC to provide training for kids from low-income areas in Washington, DC. And I thought it would be great if I could do the same program with squash out here in Jordan, but with refugees. Because we both believe that squash was a great way to empower people, both by providing confidence in terms of becoming good at a sport, as well as instilling the virtues of hard work, teamwork, and strategy as well. And when I got here in Jordan, I immediately reached out to the Jordan Squash Federation and talked to Dr. Ramsey, who volunteered the courts for us to provide training for refugees here. And then I also found some instructors who had been former professionals here in Jordan who were interested in providing training, as well as myself. And then after that, I reached out to Reclaim Childhood, which is an organization that provides after-school sporting activities for girls. And we talked about developing a squash program with them. And we brought them into the Jordan Squash Federation for a pilot program one day. It was a huge hit, and we decided to move forward in terms of providing regular training for girls. We received some State Department funding, as well as a lot of private donations to keep the program going, as well as some volunteer coaching and the free courts. We're now in the process of turning this into a much more serious program, where some of the more talented girls are going to receive regular training with the prospects of turning squash into their career by competing in regional tournaments and potentially becoming professional squash players. So we're really excited about the next steps of the program, especially since it started out with just a pilot program one day.
I originally connected with Reclaim Childhood over finding athletic equipment for the students I was teaching. The students had nothing to play with. They had a concrete blacktop and nothing else on it. So I connected with Reclaim Childhood looking for equipment, and it grew into a really cool partnership, and I ended up working for them. Sports are really important to me because I grew up playing softball, baseball, basketball, tennis, and eventually focused on softball. And my softball team meant the world to me. And playing softball at the college level, the NCAA level, it meant the world to me. And the idea that kids here have no outlet, most of our girls don't even leave the house. They say they go to school and they go to basketball practice, and some of them don't even go to school. They go to school and they go to squash practice, and that's really it. And so this is their biggest outlet during the day, and that's why they're so happy to be here. They come here to get their energy out, they get to see their friends, and they can go home and do their homework like any kid should be able to. And they've never had that opportunity. So that's what keeps me going.
أنا اسمي قمر، وحابة أكون لعيبة بالإكسواش، وبشكر مادي والمسريم والكابتن كلاي والكابتن سعد والمس ليلى. بحب أكون لعيبة كثير. شكرا لكم.
So this is not my main job. I work in Jordan, but I wanted to do this as a volunteer service because I knew that it was important to provide services to refugees that wouldn't normally be accessible to them. So a lot of people ask me, why did you pick squash as opposed to soccer and basketball? And for me, in addition to the fact that I've played squash my whole life and think it's awesome and think it's unfortunate that not everybody has access to the sport, or some people don't even know what it is, that we provided this opportunity to girls. And out of my own personal interest in the sport and my desire to share it with people. I also think that with sports like soccer and basketball, there's a lot of saturation of a lot of people are involved in it around the world. There's a lot of competition. There isn't that same kind of level of saturation with squash, so I thought there would be a lot more opportunities for girls to get into squash and become competitive with it, even with having limited resources here in Jordan.
أنا اسمي صباح وبحب السكواش وبحب المصريم والمس مادي والكابتن سعد والكابتن بلاي والكابتن
صباح ليش بتحبي السكواش؟
لأنه بحبه مشان يعني أصير بس أكبر أعرف ألعب يعني وأتشجع.
We've recently hired Saad Hijazi, who is the head coach of the Jordan squash team, and he's making a special program for these girls, providing them with intensive training several times a week, as well as some individual lessons for the girls that we think really have a chance to become top-level professional squash players. And fortunately, we currently have a couple girls that the head coach thinks are really going to become amazing squash players someday.
The squash program is really unique because it's not the first sport I would have picked to teach a refugee child. So it's a little incongruous and gets funny looks at first. But the kids love it. They've had a lot of fun. And I think the coolest thing about squash is that it's been an opportunity for girls who otherwise don't have the chance to leave their neighborhood ever, to see somewhere new, to try something new, and then realize that they're really good at it. And the look on a girl's face when she hits a ball and she realizes, she sees in herself that she can do that. We've seen the kids growing in confidence every day. We've seen them just be so happy. Today they brought flowers for Coach Saad, and he was a little taken aback. But they're so grateful too. They've had a really great time, and I'm excited to see where they'll go.
أنا بتمنى من المس مادي إنه يعني يعني هسه بعد ما نكون لاعبين شاطرين بالإكسواش تدخلنا بمباراة وبطولة، وبتمنى هذا الطلب من الكابتن سعد ومن المصريم والكابتن كلي. باي.
I would really love someday if these girls started competing in a regional tournament, whether here in Jordan or in Egypt, and I got to travel to watch them play in a tournament. I would really feel like we had accomplished something amazing here in Jordan.
So it's not because you just want to go for a holiday?
No, not just because I want to go for a holiday. I really want to turn this program into a high-level competitive squash program.